Hey guys, welcome to another episode. So I'll call this episode 2 of Talk to Me Thursday YouTube Live. As you guys come on, I would love to know where you are joining from. This week we will be talking about situational awareness. So as you come in, announce yourself and we will get started very shortly. I want to know how your guys' week's going. Tomorrow is Friday. Who doesn't love Friday? I know I love Friday. Hey guys, as you come in, I would love for you to let me know where you are joining from, and I would love for you to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Hey Sand Hills, thanks for joining. I was on a YouTube live panel on Sand Hills Shooters live chat this week, and it was great. So if you guys have not checked that out, make sure that you go check that out. And his panel was about situational awareness as well. And if you would like, feel free to send this live to your friends or family so that they can learn about some situational awareness as well. I think it's very important to make sure that we are aware of our surroundings at all times. And this is something to where we can kind of be a little proactive and we may be able to avoid a situation and get to safety. So I appreciate each and every one of you that are here. And if you have not joined the Enter the Father's Day giveaway, make sure that you enter the Father's Day giveaway. That is still going on. And the winner for the Father's Day giveaway will be announced next week. So as you guys come on, you can just let me know where you're joining from. All right, so situational awareness and personal security is our topic for tonight. Feel free to post other questions below if you have them. And this is definitely an interactive chat. Add your thoughts, add your concerns. You can even add in your examples as well. Any experiences you've had. Hey, Madna, I think it is. Hey, thanks for joining. I want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons. Those are the people who are supporting me on Patreon. It doesn't matter if you are only supporting me for $1, $10, $50, doesn't matter. Although no one's supporting me for $50. I just want to let you guys know that I really do appreciate everyone that is supporting me on Patreon. Dingle Man, hey, thanks for joining from Tampa. So the other things that we have going on, we have a Florida concealed carry class on the 29th of June from 12:30 to 3:30. So you can feel free to sign up for that class. I will post the link to my website, and once you go to my website, you can sign up for the concealed class. And the rest of my classes for about the next couple months will be posted in probably a week or so. But yeah, the next class that's coming up is the Florida conceal class. If you don't have your conceal license, please get it if you're able to, because talking about some of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight, you will, if you don't have it, you will see why there's a need for you to get it. But other than that, oh, I have good news. I'm going to share the good news at the end. And at the end, I'm going to give away something. So you make sure that you stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm giving away something, because I'm announcing something very exciting at the end. So stay tuned into the end, and this will only be given away on the live. So you got to be on the live. So if you have a friend that you want to tell about it, make sure that you tell them, because I have something exciting that I want to share with you guys. And I'll share it with you at the end of this live video. So This is situational awareness and personal security. Like I said before, if you have something that you like to share, feel free to share it. And if you have questions, post your questions as well, because this is interactive. I would love for someone else to be live with me, so it's not just you guys looking at me. But for now, it's just me. All right. I'm also going to show you my Wonder Woman AR. If you want to see my Wonder Woman AR, then type in Wonder Woman in the comments, because I mentioned I was going to show it last week, and then we kind of ran out of time, so I said I'll just wait and I'll show it this week. So if you guys want to see the Wonder Woman AR, type Wonder Woman below, and I will show you guys my Wonder Woman AR. Hey Marv, how are you? Thanks for joining. All right, so we have, I want to say it's Madna, and we have Ronald, and we have Yarn Dragons. And so I think that means that you guys want to see the Wonder Woman AR. So my Wonder Woman AR is Aero Precision, and I built it. So I'm just going to show you guys tonight, and if you guys want me to do a video talking about all the different parts and the different brands of things that I use, I can do that for you as well. All right, so this is my Wonder Woman AR. It is Aero Precision. My custom paint job came from Shark Coast Tactical, and they are out of, I think it's Sarasota, Florida. So this is my AR. And then this is the other side. I don't know about you guys, but I love the detail that was put into this. If you know me, then you know I'm very particular about the way I like my things. So yeah, this is my AR. So what do you guys think? I am absolutely in love with this. They did a phenomenal job. I wanted something different, something extremely unique, and I think they accomplished exactly what I wanted. I showed them some pictures, and they did their magic. And the optic that I use on this is my Holosun 510C. All right. And this was just an AR that I built myself. I've had this one. So Ronald said, how long have you owned that one? I have had this one for, it's been at least, I would say 7 months. And I've definitely taken it out to the range. I got some range time, and I think I've posted some videos of me shooting this as well. But let me know what you guys think about it. I absolutely love it. And if you want, I'll bring it back out later so that you guys can see it again. All right. So thank you guys for joining. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up. If you can't hit the thumbs up now, then you hit the thumbs up later once the video's over. But tonight we will be talking about situational awareness. If you are viewing this live and you do not know what situational, or not just alive, if you're viewing this video and you do not know what situational awareness is, please comment below and let me know that you do not know what situational awareness is. And this is not just for people who shoot, people who like guns, all of that. No, it's not just for those types of people. This is for anyone and everyone. And if your family is around, I would encourage you to have your family listen to this too. Or you can share this video, and you can share it to someone via text message. You can share it to them via email, via social media. You can post it on your Instagram page. You can post it on your Facebook page. And if you post it, I would love for you to tag me in it so that I can see it. All right. And if you tag me, I will definitely either comment on the video, or comment on the post or shout you out on my post. But yes, make sure that you share this with someone, because out of everything that we're going to be covering tonight, I'm pretty sure at least one person can learn something. So like I said before, very interactive. As you guys come in, let me know where you're joining from. And if this is your very first time viewing a live with me, please let me know that as well. All right, so situational awareness. We have a ton of places that we frequent. We go to work, we go to the grocery store, we go everywhere, right? So you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You need to be aware of your surroundings at home. You need to be aware of your surroundings even on your route to and from work. You need to be aware of your surroundings while you're shopping. So just make sure that you are aware. Situational awareness. You need to be aware of your surroundings at all times, all right? So tonight I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. I want you to apply everything that we're going to talk about tonight to your daily life. So maybe you work from home, and if you work from home, you can just incorporate this into your daily routine. Or maybe you homeschool your children. You can incorporate this into your routine as well. But I want you to all think about it, and if there's something that you want to add and provide to what I'm saying, feel free to do that as well. And this is normally like a subject where people are like, oh my God, I never thought about that. So if you have something to add, I would love for you to add it. Let me check a couple of the comments before I start talking. All right, so we have 843 Kenny, who's from Charleston, South Carolina, and we also have D with Yarn Dragon. She's from Houston, Texas. We have Ronald from Louisiana, and it is Ronald's first time viewing a live. So thank you so much for viewing. And I would love to know where you heard about us from. So if you already follow us on YouTube, or if you heard about it on social media. Then we have Captain joining from Killeen. And then we have Rob. Hey, Rob. And he's from upstate New York checking in. I appreciate you for joining the live tonight. So guys, please hit the thumbs up and let's get ready to start. So I have some notes that I will be peeking at so that I can make sure that I cover every single thing that I want to talk to you guys about tonight. So first things first, we're going to start at our home. We all reside somewhere, and we have to make sure that we are aware of our surroundings at our home. So if you do not have good quality lighting, I would suggest that you invest in some good quality lighting. So when I say quality lighting, I'm not talking about the lights where it's like super bright and then your neighbors are like, oh my God, there they go with that light again. You can have, I have some landscape lighting that I have at my home. And if you have a garage or kind of like an outside area, you can have a light that's on the exterior of your home and you just have it on. And a lot of the times, if there is an area that's well lit, that's going to deter people from going to that area. They want to go areas where there's not a lot of light and they won't really be seen. So home security and having good quality lighting on the exterior of your home is very important. Rob said, yep, New York. Sorry. And everyone that saw me from the advice show, thank you guys so much for coming over, checking out my channel, and subscribing. And when it also comes to your home, make sure that you have a good quality deadbolt. That can make a difference. And we're going to post some stuff on social media here coming up soon about your home, but a good quality deadbolt makes a difference. You don't want someone to be able to just kick in your door. And your entry and your exit ways are points to where you need to make sure you have good lighting, because if your front door does not have a light, then that may be an avenue to where someone thinks, okay, I can get to this door really quick. I can go in here and no one will probably see me. So when it comes to good quality lighting and security, and another thing, I don't want to say this is common sense because we don't want to say anything is common sense, but make sure that you are locking your doors, okay? Lock your doors. How many people come in, and it can be in the middle of the day, it could be at night. How many people come in and they don't automatically lock their doors behind them? It may be that your hands were full when you came in, you kind of just slightly closed the door behind you, but just think about that. That's giving someone easy access. They don't even have to work hard. They can just turn the knob or press the button or whatever it may be to get into your home. So make sure that you guys are locking your doors, all right? Locking your doors, you have good exterior lighting and security. Even if you have a security system, you need to have your security system on. You need to use it. And some people just put the signs in their yard. And I know the signs are deterrents, but if you do have a security system, make sure that you're actually using your security system. So out of the few things that we've covered so far, is there anyone in the live chat that has a security system and it has given them kind of like that extra level of comfort when it comes to their home security? Hey, Jason, thanks for joining. All right, so Yarn Dragon said absolutely. I know when it comes to a home security system, sometimes there's stigmas attached to them, but definitely make sure that if you have one that you use it, and there's little small things that you can do just to make sure that you are securing your property yourself. So Rob said lighting, locking windows and doors, and always look out or in before you enter or exit. Yes, so that's going to be the next thing. So when it comes to individuals who may be, let's say, visiting your home, someone knocks on the door. Are you going to automatically just open the door, or you're going to be able to put the light on? I know for me, when I have someone knock, I'm going in it, especially if it's dark, I'm going to be able to positively identify that person at all times. If I'm opening my door, I'm going to know who is at my door before I open it. A lot of people have a false sense of security and they just open the door, but you're giving them access to your home. All right. So you're going to turn on your exterior light if it's not already on. You're going to turn that light on, and then you're going to open your door. But you're going to be able to positively identify who that person is. So if it's someone who's soliciting, you're like, no, thank you, or you just don't even answer the door. But for your for your guests, you want to be able to positively identify, especially if someone's like, oh, delivery. You're like, I didn't order delivery. So Captain said, and don't announce your plans on social media platforms. That's a huge one as well. Marv said, the system that send warnings to the phones are a great choice. Yes, I completely agree with you. And then Rob said, if it's late, I check out the side to see who's at the door and around my porch. Those are all great ideas. Thank you guys for sharing those. And then there's the new, I think they're called Ring doorbells, where you can see who's at your door. Those are really good. I know I have some friends and family who have those. I have coworkers who have those, and they're just like, okay, I can see who's at my door, or I can see that there's a package. So you can be on your couch, you don't have to get up, or you could be at work and you can see who's at your door. So those are really good, very good investments. And I mean, how can you go wrong with seeing who's at your door? Amanda says CCTV is a great tool. Yes, it is. Another thing, when it comes to the exterior of your home, if you are parking your vehicle and it's not inside of your garage or whatever, make sure that you are parking in a well-lit area. I know in my community, there was a while where there were a couple of the street lights that were out, and we were actively talking to the city and with the HOA, and they were trying to get the people out to get it fixed because bad lighting and criminals, yeah, no, they're going to think, okay, well, there's not good lighting over here. People are not going to be able to identify me while I'm walking and just around here about to do something really stupid. So make sure that you park in a well-lit area, and you also make sure that you lock your vehicles. I'm just going to repeat this one for the people who are way in the back and didn't quite hear that. If you have a vehicle and it is parked, you need to make sure, first of all, not even if it's just parked, whatever, just make sure that your vehicle is locked. It is very important to make sure that your vehicle is locked. I actually talked to someone yesterday, and they were telling me about how the one night that they did not lock their vehicle and they left their firearm in their vehicle, someone stole it. There is a high rate of individuals who know that people are leaving their firearms in their vehicles and they are stealing them. So don't do that. Always lock your vehicle and make sure that you don't leave your firearm in there. And if you do, then it just needs to be properly stored. All right. So Rob said, always check your blind spots if it's late to play it safe. Yes. Ronald said, yes, I have a toy poodle and a Yorkie. Rob also said, also getting rid of bushes near your driveway is helpful. Yes, that's a good tool as well. Make sure that you're getting them trimmed so that there's not somewhere in the area that people can hide or have access to be able to walk up to your home and not be identified. All right, so that was the part on your home. Make sure that when it comes to your home that you are always being safe. And do not think, because some people have a very false sense of things only happen out in gun-free zones or things only happen at these types of places. There are a large amount of crimes that occur at your home. All right, so at your home, your guard is probably down, and sometimes you're just a softer target because you may be sleeping. If someone is breaking into your home and it's 2:00 in the morning, the odds of you being awake are very, very slim, right? But if you are awake, it's going to take some time for you to react. So I'm pretty sure we have some night owls in the chat. Who's our night owls in the chat? So some people actually have safes that are kind of bolted into their vehicle, and they store their firearms in those. That's what I was talking about, leaving it in there. All right, so I think Dee's saying that she's a night owl. I'm a night owl sometimes, especially on nights that I don't have to go to work the next day. I'm definitely a night owl. And when I'm a night owl, I'm normally working on like a podcast episode or a YouTube video or something like that. It's definitely not just me chilling. All right, guys, so make sure if you have any questions that you post your questions in the chat. Just remember, it is very interactive. And if I have said anything thus far that you did not understand, make sure that you let me know that you did not understand it. Because I want to make sure that you guys are all picking up what I'm putting down. But I think situational awareness is very important. And these are things that you need to be talking about with your kids, with your family members. It can even be your mom and dad. So if your mom and dad, say if they're older as in like their 60s, 70s, right? You can share that with them as well, because you can never be too safe. And especially if you know someone who cannot own a firearm, there are a lot of people out here who cannot own firearms. So talking to them about situational awareness is very important, because they don't have that advantage of being able to protect themselves with a firearm. So if you can't protect yourself with a firearm, then sometimes if you can detect a bad situation before it happens, then you are good. So Ronald is a night owl as well, and Captain is a night owl. And thank you for your service. Hi, Ty. How are you? And Clover, hey, thank you for joining. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. is live with Skip now. So make sure that you join Clover. All right, guys. So if you have not hit that thumbs up button, make sure that you hit that thumbs up. Tonight, we're talking about situational awareness. Please feel free to add anything that you may think may provide value. If it's not going to provide value, I would just suggest that you probably keep it to yourself tonight. And make sure that you stay tuned until the end of this video because I have some really good news to share and I'm giving away something live tonight. You can only get it if you're on the live, so make sure that you stay tuned and stay here until the end, all right? So we have a couple of new people that came in. We have Vic, hey, thank you for joining. Two Gun Kitty, hey, thanks for joining from Albuquerque. And let's see. Yarn Dragon said, I secure gates not used with locks to deter people from just going in. First month we live here, 3 people just went into our yard. Sometimes you have to do things to deter. That is very, very important. I know for us, we don't have a fence, but if you have a fence, that is a deterrent, but also make sure that on the other side of your fence that it is locked, because if it's not locked, then that just gives people that access to be able to come into the back of your yard. And sometimes you have valuables in the back and they can just get those valuables without ever even going into your home. So we talked about our home. We're talking about situational awareness and personal security tonight. So we talked about at your home, and then we're going to talk about on the way to work as well. But next we're going to talk about traveling outside your home. And like I said, if you guys have any feedback to provide, make sure that you provide that feedback in the comments below. But when you're traveling outside your home, it could be you're traveling to work, you're traveling anywhere, you're traveling outside of your home, and you need to make sure that you are inspecting your vehicle prior to using it. Am I talking about checking your oil, popping the hood and all that? No, ma'am, no, sir. What I'm talking about is inspecting it to make sure that no one has done anything to the outside, but you also want to inspect the inside as well. You want to look and make sure. I know for me, sometimes I'll leave books or whatever, or a jacket or something on the back seat, or my kids may leave something in there. And especially if you don't have window tint, you want to look in, make sure that everything is exactly where you left it, because sometimes you'll be able to see, okay, someone's been in there and what were they doing? Because normally when criminals breaking your vehicle and they do stuff, they're just like throwing stuff all over the place. All right. So you want to make sure that no one has tampered with anything, because if they have, then you can just not even mess with it. You can just get your phone and you can call the authorities, or they say the authority. So Two Gun Kitty said, I do deliveries around town all day, always aware in this town. Where are you? Oh, Albuquerque. Do you guys have a lot of crime in Albuquerque? Another thing is when you're driving, and I know sometimes that we see this in movies. When you're driving, you want to make sure that you are checking your mirrors. We're going to be checking our mirrors to make sure that no one is following us, right? If someone's following us, we would be able to see it if we're actively checking our mirrors, because we would see, okay, every time I move to this left lane, then this person's moving to the left lane, or this blue car is moving to the left lane. Why is this blue car moving to the left lane every time I move to the left lane? And then it can also be, okay, well, I made a left, this car made a left, and then I made this right, and then this car made this right. So always be just aware of vehicles who, and sometimes it may just be a vehicle that's going to the same place that you're going. So if it's a neighbor who works in the same vicinity that you do, and say you have a 20-minute commute, you're gonna know, okay, that's just that one neighbor who is going the same route that I'm going, but you need to be aware of things like that. Let me check my notes. All right, something else is you want to make sure that you sometimes take different routes. I know for me, I will check the traffic on my way in the mornings. So if they're in, so I have to be honest with you guys, I take the expressway every morning. So whenever I take the expressway, sometimes there may be an accident on the expressway. So what I do is I get my phone in the mornings and I pull up my Google Maps and I check and see, okay, are there any delays on my normal route? And if there's delays on my normal route, I'll take an alternate route. Or sometimes I just switch up my route just because I want to switch it up. Because if you're too predictable, then that's going to make you a target as well. You don't want to have too much predictability in your life because people will notice it. All right. So there's people out there who do want to harm you. Let's just go ahead and be honest. And we don't want them to see any patterns that we have. So if you can take an alternate route, take an alternate route, and don't say, okay, every Monday I'm going to take the alternate route, because then that's a pattern and people are going to be able to see that pattern. Something else that I want you guys to think about on your way in to wherever you're going is, are there any safe havens on your way that you're on your route that you're traveling? Because if there's any safe havens, then you want to know, because say if there's someone who's aggressively following me, then maybe I want to stop at the police station and go, okay, this person's following me, or call them and let them know, hey, I'm coming here because this person is doing this. So you always want to know where those places are. If you don't know where those places are, I want to highly encourage you to look for those places tonight. Just go ahead and look up on your route and say, okay, I'm looking for the nearest hospital. I'm looking for the nearest police station. But you want to know where those safe havens are on your routes. So if you have a route to work, if you have a route to your favorite this place or your this place, you just want to know where the safe havens are just in your area in general. You want to go a certain, say within 30 minutes of your home, where is this, this, and this located for the places that you frequent. So Ronald said, not sure if this is too personal or not, but have you ever had to use your firearm for self-defense? No, I have not had to use my firearm for self-defense. I hope that I never have to, but I'm prepared to use it and I train so that I am able to use it if I do need to. But if you check on my YouTube channel, I did an interview with someone who within the last 30 days had to use their firearm for self-defense. And you could learn a lot from the interview that I did with him, because I learned a lot from the interview that I did with him as well. So Captain said, other than having an alarm sign as a warning, put a sign saying slightly medicated veteran as a deterrent. I think that will work too. Rob said, or they get high and leave duster cans all over your truck. Laugh out loud. Two Gun Kitty said, that's putting it mildly. High crime and easy to get around. Lots of vagrants approach you as well. Demont said, I made it. Laugh out loud. Good evening, Avery. Hey, thank you for joining. Jason said, I use motion detection alarms along with video cameras. Alarms let you know what area to check. That's really good. Aaron said hello from Delaware. Hey, Aaron, thank you for joining. Two Gun Kitty said, have a state trooper who lives next door. Love his vehicle always parked outside. That's a really good deterrent as well. So Yarn Dragon said it was a powerful interview. Thank you so much for checking it out. And if you guys have not checked out that video, if you're watching the replay, I will make sure that I link that video below. But if you are here on the live, make sure that you go check that video out. It was a good video where I think he did everything that he was supposed to. So it came out to where the good guy won, but we know it doesn't always work that way, and sometimes the bad guy wins. So I think we really have to celebrate those good guy wins. Manna said, is it true if we build our own AR, we don't have to register it? What do you mean by registering it, and where do you live? That is a factor as well. Fuzz said, yep, I got aroused when I heard the word ammo mentioned. All right, so we're talking about traveling outside of your home, and we just mentioned safe havens, and we also talked about knowing those safe havens that are along your route. So also you need to know where your medical kit is. Do you guys have a medical kit? If you don't have a medical kit in your vehicle, you need to make sure that you have one. I know not everyone thinks about that. Sometimes people only think about guns, right? But when it comes to your medical kit, what's the likelihood of you being injured and you needing some kind of first aid? And so let's think about this. How many times have you needed something? Let's just even say slightly like a Band-Aid, right? And you just don't have it. And especially at the range, I've seen to where a lot of people may get bit by the slide. If you get bit by the slide, you're probably gonna need a Band-Aid, all right? And maybe like an antiseptic wipe, just a wipe, right? So if you don't have those types of things, I would highly encourage you to get a medical kit and leave it in your vehicle. And then you want to have a medical kit, although this is like sidebar, have one in your range bag as well, so that you don't have to take it out of your vehicle and then you leave it in your range bag and you forget, and then now you need it in your vehicle, but you don't have it in your vehicle, all right? Fuzz said, don't get distracted by your phones. That's another good one as well. Aaron said that he put together his own IFAC. Good job on that. So Yarn Dragon said, I did but took it out when I stopped working and kept forgetting to put it back in. Well, this is your reminder. So kudos on you for having one though. Let's see who else. Juan, thank you so much for joining from Miami. And Belty Cat, thank you so much for joining from North Carolina. All right, so another thing is, if you guys tuned in a little bit later, make sure that you stay into the end of this live because I'm giving something away because I have a really big announcement to make. All right, so in a really good mood, gonna give something away, but you have to make sure that you are in the live chat at the end of the video, all right? And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. And this is a very interactive video. All the lives that I do are here to provide value, but I want you guys to ask questions and interact with each other as well. So what better way to do it than YouTube Live? Hello, Tiffany from South Carolina. All right, so if you're tuning in late, tonight we're talking about situational awareness. We're talking about traveling outside of your home. When you're traveling outside of your home, you need to know where your safe havens are. And your safe havens are the places like your hospitals, medical facilities, and also the police stations. And you also want to make sure that you're not taking the same routes. You don't want to take the same routes because you don't want to be predictable. But like I said, people like me who take the expressway, I take the expressway all the time. Sidebar on the expressway, why am I paying to go to work? Yeah, I'm paying to go to work, but then sometimes it's not even express because there's a ton of traffic. That's for like a whole nother later day or later night. Sorry, guys. Rant over. And when it comes to your medical kit, you want to make sure that your family knows where your medical kit is as well. Because if you are the one that's injured and you're the only one who knows where it is, how much good is that going to do you? Not much good at all. So it could be your family, it could be your friends, and when I say family, it could be your spouse, it could be your kids. Don't discount the fact that your kids may be a little bit younger. Tell them where it is. You'll be surprised at what your kids are ready to know and what they probably already know. So let me flip my notes. All right, another thing that I want to talk about is, so Aaron said, it's good to have a tourniquet in your medical bag. Make sure you get trained on how to apply it. Yes, yes, and yes. That is very important. I posted, I want to say maybe last week or the week before, about tourniquets. Tourniquets are very, very important to have. And it's also very important to know how to properly apply a tourniquet. Let's see. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about is making sure that when you're in traffic, you're not getting too close to the individual that is in front of you, to that vehicle. You don't want to be too close. Why don't you want to? So I'm going to ask this. Can anyone in the chat tell me why you don't want to be too close to the vehicle that's in front of you? You guys are like, oh my God, I didn't know it's going to be a quiz tonight. But I would love for you guys to tell me if you know why it's very important to not be too close to that vehicle that's in front of you. So, Fuzz said, if you're married, let's see. All right, so Yarn Dragon said CPR. Aaron said, in case you have to pull away. That's very important as well, because if you need to get in and out really quick, you don't want to be blocked in. You do not want to be blocked in. You want to make sure that you have area to where you can maneuver around that vehicle and you can just keep going. But if something were to happen, if that vehicle behind you got too close, or they were trying to ambush you, whatever it may be, you don't want to be just stuck like Chuck in there to where you can't get out. All right. And another thing is, just make sure that you're not on your phone. Like, you want to be able to have time to react. Like Belty Cat said, when you're in traffic, if you're too close, if someone slams on their brakes, then what's going to happen? You may not have enough time to react so that you're not going to hit that vehicle that's in front of you. Make sure that you have space. There's no reason for you to be too close to that vehicle. And normally once you're that close to that vehicle, it kind of starts to tick people off. It does. Don't be that person, all right? So you need to make sure you have enough room and you give yourself time to react, and you give yourself time to be able to maneuver in and out of traffic if you need to, all right? And some people call it escape routes, get off the X, whatever it may be. You want to make sure that you have enough time to get out of there. And just a few other tips that I want to share with you guys. When you are out, make sure that you're parking in a well-lit area. All right? You want the area to be well lit. A good example of this is if you're at the mall and you see that there's a exterior light that's out and it's kind of dark over there. Maybe you just need to go to a different entrance, and you're going to go into you're going to go to an area that's well lit, so that you don't have to worry about it being so dark out and what may happen, excuse me, when it's dark out. That's also for if you're in a parking garage, right? If you're in a parking garage, you want to make sure that the area that you're going to park in is well lit. If you have to go, instead of being on the second level, if you have to go to the third or the fourth level in order to find a spot that is in a well lit area, make sure that you do that as well. And you want to make sure that when you're walking out in public that you stay off your phone. How many times have you seen someone and they're just looking down at their phone and they're extremely distracted, right? What if, like, that imaginary ninja's down there and they trip them, right? Have you guys ever seen those videos where people just trip out of nowhere? I do that. I'm clumsy. Sometimes I will just trip, right? But I catch myself. I don't fall. But just make sure that you're not distracted and that you're not on your phone. because you need to be able to look up and see what's around. You need to know where your phone is so that if you need it, you'll be able to get to it, right? But you don't want to be super distracted and looking down at your phone, because you may see there could be someone with a gun out, right? And you're just walking directly into that area because you're not paying attention. Fuzzfork said if your vehicle is one that sits high like a pickup truck, look under the truck before getting in. They used to cut your Achilles heel so that you would drop to the ground. Belty Cat said, I've ordered some Wi-Fi light bulbs for outside my house. My daughter comes in from work at midnight. She can turn on the light from her cell phone. And Aaron said, I always have a flashlight on me. I keep a small one in my pocket. That's important as well. You need to make sure that you have a flashlight. Since you guys mentioned flashlight, I'll take a quick sidebar break and remind you that I'm doing a giveaway on YouTube. One of the items that we're giving away is this Olight flashlight. It's the i3T EOS, and it has 180 lumens, and you can never go wrong with a flashlight. So if you have not entered our Father's Day giveaway, make sure that you go enter. This is just one of the gifts for that Father's Day giveaway. But since you guys mentioned flashlights, we also are dealers for Olight. If you need a good flashlight, Olight has some great flashlights at affordable prices. So you can check our website, which is skipstacticalsolutions.com. And I'll make sure that I post that link below for you to check out those flashlights. What I really like about their lights is they are rechargeable. So the days of buying all of those batteries, for some of them, you don't have to do that. You can have a good flashlight, and it is USB charge actually. So that's really neat. Make sure that you check that out. And if you haven't entered that Father's Day giveaway, what are you waiting for? All right, so next thing we're going to talk about, you want to see where cover and concealment is when you're out and about, because if there is an active shooter or there is something going on to where you need to make sure that you know where the cover and concealment is, you want to identify those areas ahead of time. And when I say identify those areas, all you have to do is slightly look around and, okay, so there's cover, there's some concealment right there, and you want to know those places ahead of time. Or if there's places that you frequent, if you know that there is a area, if one entrance of your mall doesn't have any cover and concealment, but then the other entrance does, then you want to make sure that you frequent the entrance that does have the cover and concealment. And then while inside buildings, you want to note any kind of additional exits, escapes, anything like that at restaurants. When you are at a restaurant, there's normally a exit in the kitchen, right? Because they're normally like taking things out the back, throwing them into the garbage. So check all the exits, because you want to be able to know how to safely exit when you can. If all the bad people are coming in the front, then you want to leave out of the back. Or you want to know where your vehicle is parked in relation to where you're sitting, all right? And then JD just added something in here, and he said make sure that you sit to where you can see the door at the restaurant. You don't want your back to be to the door. And if you have a spouse and your spouse wants to have their back to the door, sometimes you guys need to compromise, but then why not just you both just sit beside each other and you're both not having your back face the door. And so Aaron said, when at a restaurant, I have my son tell me where should we sit in case we have to exit in a hurry, and he is 13 years old. That's something really good. And although I'm sure that's not a game that you play, that's something that you can treat as if it is a game with your kids, and you can get them thinking in that mindset to where, okay, they're able to find where those different places are, and they're able to identify that because you won't always be with them. And just educating them on things like that helps them to understand it. and they not look at you like you're crazy. And a lot of people do oh, it's because I say so or because of whatever. Don't do that. You want to make sure that you're educating them on why you feel the way that you do. And like I said before, you want to make sure that you're educating your children on these things as well. Your kids are ready for a lot of things before you think they are. And you're not always going to be there with them. If you're not there with them, you want them to be able to hold their own. And if you are educating your kids with this, you best believe your kids are probably going to educate their friends on this as well. So I'm really big on educating my kids, and it's amazing at the things that they retain and the things that they see and they can identify as well. And if it's someone, and so I live in Florida, right? If it's like 100 degrees outside, someone's got on a trench coat, and you're aware of your surroundings, those are things that you can talk to your kids about as well. And it's like, okay, mom or dad, hey, do you see that person over there? And they put it on your radar, and maybe you didn't see it. But you can also think about the fact that sometimes kids are at home alone. They're at home alone. So if the kids are at home alone and you have not educated them on positively identifying who's at the door before they open the door, right? Or, hey, mom and dad's not at home, so you don't open the door for anyone. I don't care if it's grandma and grandpa. If they know that we're not home, then they're going to have to get their own. They're going to have to use the code to get into the door. They're going to have to use their key to get into the door. You're not going to open the door for anybody. So that's really important as well. And being able to communicate with your kids. And sometimes there may be a safe word that you use. The safe word's like, all right, Skittles. And if I say Skittles, then you know, okay, this person's good, and you can open the door. Or if I say licorice, then you know, hey, there's trouble ahead. So make sure that you're communicating with your kids and you're talking about things like that. And you're talking to them about, hey, if you're in the situation, then this is what you need to do. Because sometimes doing the right thing is not the popular thing to do. And you want to educate them on doing the right things. You don't want their friends to educate them on that. You don't want YouTube to educate them on that, unless you tell them to watch my channel. But you want to make sure that you are providing them with that information. So Yarn Dragon said that her and her husband are always educating their kids as well. Buzzfork says that they live out in the country. Rob said, just a tip, if for some reason your car doesn't lock, pull your fuel pump fuses when you park to prevent people from taking it in bad areas. Then get your locks fixed or keep the kids from joyriding. Thank you for sharing that. And then another tip is whenever you get in your vehicle, just automatically lock your doors. I know sometimes the doors take a minute or so to lock, or once you put the vehicle in reverse, or once you start to move, it takes your vehicle a bit to actually lock. You want to get into your vehicle and you want to lock the doors. Something that I do want to share with you is I posted a article today on social media. I posted it on Facebook and I posted it on Instagram. I posted this article actually a year ago, and I really, really wanted to post it again because although that article was a year ago, it has stuck with me. This article is an article that I think about very often, and it could have happened to any one of us. So, did you guys see the article that I posted today? All right, so the article that I posted today was about a young lady, and she was a mother. She lived in, I think it was out of St. Louis, and she was taking her kids to summer camp last summer, and a young man actually attacked her and killed her in front of her kids. And so, in front of her 3 kids. And so the last words that she told her kids was that she was sorry. That story has just stayed with me, and don't get me wrong, every single story that's out there, and there's a life lost that doesn't have to be lost. it's just hard. But this story stuck with me because there was so many different elements to this. This was someone who lived in her area. This was someone who, and this was in the morning, first thing in the morning. So she's taking her kids to summer camp. How many people are leaving out of their house in the mornings and you never really think that something's gonna happen first thing in the morning? First of all, I mean, I don't even want to get up that early. I don't know about you guys, but we got people out here that are straight up committing crimes this early in the morning. So it was early in the morning. She's taking her kids to summer camp and someone has killed her, and they tried to take her vehicle, but her vehicle wouldn't start and they were not able to take her vehicle. That story has been extremely hard for me. It's not just because she was a woman. What she also is she was a mother, and those kids had to watch their mother die, and that's going to be something that's going to stick with them for the rest of their life. And someone who obviously was a horrible human killed this woman in front of her kids. So if you do not arm yourself, make sure that you arm yourself. If you know someone who is on the fence about protecting themselves, talk to them, educate them, share stories like this with them. I don't know if you have watched the news lately, but there's a lot of everything going on. I watched over the past 2 days, I saw a story where there was a lady and her dead body was found in the median. And I mean, it wasn't like in the country, it was in Lakeland, Florida. There was that story. There was a story of a random shooting. Nobody knows what happened. And obviously, there's always just the small, and not really to say small, but there's just the here and there where people are breaking in and people are doing stupid stuff. But I, I've been watching the news here recently, and I'm just like, oh my God, all of this is going on. So make sure that you're armed. Make sure that you are educating those around you, because just don't live in the world to where you think, oh, only bad things are going to happen to bad people, or only bad things are going to happen in bad neighborhoods. They're happening in all these different neighborhoods, and they're happening everywhere we go. They're happening at their grocery store, they're happening at the movie theater, they're happening in schools. So make sure that you're aware. I mean, there was just the shooting that was at that courthouse. All right. So they're happening, they're all around us, and we just have to make sure that we're aware. So Rob said, my kid bribes me with candy. So if you're like me, don't use candy as a safe word. Yeah, let's see a safe. Yeah, I like sweets, so I wouldn't be able to use that as a safe word either. And then Fuzzfork said, what Skip is leading up to is never trust blindly. And another thing I want to say about that is there are a lot of people who are getting harmed by people that they know. Do not always assume it's going to be a stranger. Be aware of your surroundings. Listen to your gut. Situational awareness can be used at all times. It can absolutely be used at all times. It's, why is this person knocking on my door so loud? Why is this person knocking on my door and it's 9 o'clock at night? Right? So just use situational awareness and have a form of protection. DJ Atlas in the house. Hey, thank you for joining. And if you guys came in late, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. And at the end of this live video, I'll be doing a giveaway. So feel free to send this live video to a friend, family member, whoever it may be, because at the end of this live, which won't be too much longer, I'm going to do a giveaway. And you have to be on the live to get it. So Fuzzfork said, you never know who is high on drugs these days. That is very true. And Rob said, it sucks we have people like that in the world, but we sure do. We absolutely do. Patriot in the Dark, hello. Thank you for joining. And Buzz Fork, sorry, said couple years back, you seen teen stab a old woman in the back at her house with a pair of her own scissors to get her Social Security check. Wow, that's sad. And then Richard said, it's in the Bible, unforeseen evilness forces are out here. And this is so damn sad. These two generations that's your evilness forces right there. Unforeseen evilness, and it's so sad. I agree with you. So Marv said shame and crime doesn't have a time. Thank you for saying that. I absolutely agree with that. Especially in this story, we seen that, I mean, it was early in the morning and she was just trying to take her kids to summer camp. Yeah, that story, yeah, that one is hard for me. And I don't know if it's hard for me because, I mean, I'm a mom. I can see myself in her. She was an African American woman and just taking her kids to summer camp. So if there is a lady who is watching this and she is on the fence, what I'll say is make sure that you have a form of protection. You can never be too safe, but you want to be proactive about your safety and not reactive, because if you're reactive, there may be a chance that you actually can't be reactive because you're too late. These things happen in mere seconds, like a quick minute, and if you're not prepared, then you're behind the curve. So Rob said, people do crazy things for drugs and dumb reasons. Better safe than a victim. No one should be mad at you for playing things safe. I agree with you. And so my thoughts on that is, this is when Savage Skip comes out. If they're mad at me for taking my personal safety into my own hands, then I don't care. Then you're not my friend. You're not someone that I need to be associating with, and I don't care. So you will have people like that in your life, and you just don't need to associate with them because they don't have your best interests at heart. Also, Richard said, and like what you said, what you just talked about, concealment. Where I work in retail, I'm always watching and being prepared for anyone being as an active shooter to run up in that store. Yeah, so I was just talking to a lady in my local mall, and she was telling me about how, and I don't frequent the mall that much. My husband may say otherwise, but I don't. But she was telling me about how much crime actually occurs at that mall. And that's something that I never really heard about, but she said that as a store worker, and she had been working there for at least 5 years, she's seen many things. And she also informed me that just a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, there was a attempted kidnapping at the mall. And if you live in Florida, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but Florida is one of the third highest in the nation for human trafficking. And that's something that we need to be talking about. I don't hear a lot of people talking about human trafficking because I'm not sure why. I think it may just be one of those things that they don't want to talk about because of the stigma that's attached to it. But I think we have to start talking about this because human trafficking is only increasing. It is not decreasing. So we have to get a solution to this problem because the problem is only getting worse. So talk to your kids about human trafficking also. We got a lot of good comments in the chat tonight, guys, so thank you. So Belty Cat just said, just this week I installed Google Nest cams at the entrances to my house. I can see who is outside on my iPad. That's really good. DJ Atlas said, it's better to have one and not need one than need one and not have one. Get your license and training. Both with Skip can provide assistance with. Thank you so much. And DJ Atlas that is joining us tonight, he is a local member of the law enforcement here. Richard said, I'm always carrying my Ruger every day. My everyday carry, even on the job, even though my job has no gun on their premises. The hell with that. I keep my gun on me. That's good, Richard. And I know I talked to this lady and she was saying that she needed to find out what her company's policy was on that. And if they have a policy and you stop a crime, what are the odds that they're going to try to prosecute you? I think those odds are very slim. But I mean, for me, if I lose my job for protecting myself, I'm a-okay with that because I'm here. I'm still here to be with my family, and I can always find another job versus my family having to bury me because someone killed me. Patriot said I train with both eyes closed or tied behind my back. And Two Gun Kitty said I carry when I work. That's good. D said, that's when I say there's the door. Have a good day to those who don't like my choices to be safe and the safety of my family. I completely agree with you. Fusswork said these 7-Elevens or all night quick shops are a danger for women to work in. Why I do agree with you, I think they're also a danger for pretty much anybody. And I know a lot of the times people say women, but you also have to remember that not only are there women, but there may be men who may be smaller in size and they don't have a lot of strength either. Or it may just be someone with a physical impairment and they can't protect themselves either. Because I know some women who can do a lot of damage, but at the same time, I like my rule of thumb is if you're getting off of work and it is dark outside, you need to have a form of protection to be able to protect yourself, especially when it comes to nurses, mall workers. Those are people who are getting off at kind of weird hours. So it may not be necessarily okay at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be walking out. There can be staggered shifts, those types of things, or people who are stalking at night. Make sure that you have a way to defend yourself. If you don't have a way to defend yourself, something that someone mentioned the other night is you can have a security guard escort you to your vehicle. But you also have to remember if you don't have a way to protect yourself, it could be maybe that person shoots the security guard. Then now what are you going to do? But it's definitely better to be safe than sorry. So you can have that security guard escort you to your vehicle. And then once you get in your vehicle, you lock the door and then they walk away. Aaron said, one of my fellow managers at the store I am a manager at was maced this week. Unfortunately, I can't carry at work. It is hard in retail life. Oh, wow. So if you can't carry, do you have any tools around where you work that you can have with you? Or are there any other things that you bring with you? Are you able to have a knife? Rob said, we have a lot of crime and half of it doesn't hit the news and a quarter isn't reported due to drugs being involved. I wholeheartedly agree with you. When it comes to the things that are on the news, I'm sure that half of it isn't even going to make it, but we need to be aware of what's going on in our community just so that we're aware of our surroundings. But at the same time, you need to be able to be prepared to defend yourself if the situation arises. And when I say defend yourself, you need to know how to properly use your firearm. You need to know how to properly deploy it out of the holster and use your firearm in a life-threatening situation. All right. So Richard said, oh, sorry. Two Gun said, never thought of owning a gun till last year. Took CCW last July and bought my first firearm after. The crime made me go for it. That's really good. So I want to give you props for being proactive and not being reactive because you took that into your own hands and you got the training and you invested in your own safety. Richard said, speak on the truth on that. I just lose my job. I just find me another job. We conceal carry holders. We are not cops, but we just like cops. But just like cops, we like to go home just like they do. we don't want nobody trying to take our life. Like I said, if my job finds out I'm carrying and I lose my job, or well, it is what it is. I've been in 2 situations at my retail job. I'm not going through that a third time. I'm sorry that you're having to deal with that, but big props to you for being armed and being able to protect yourself. And something else that I want to caveat on that is not only protecting yourself, but being able to protect those around you that cannot protect themselves. And some people are just not willing to protect themselves. And for that, some of us are taking on the responsibility of being armed citizens and being there to protect them if the need arises. Um, so Patriot in the Dark, I don't know if you guys know. So some of you that are in here probably doesn't know, but Patriot in the Dark, you are a concealed carry holder and you're blind as well, right? I apologize if I missed that earlier. And his words, not mine, said, and terribly handsome. So Aaron said that he carries a tactical pen and I keep a knife on me at all times. So although you cannot have your firearm, he still has other tools that are there that he can defend himself with, which is awesome. All right, so Dee said our daughter has carried a taser since she was old enough. As a CNA, she did night and overnight shifts for years, and now with Florida gun laws change. First Fork also added, people also get blindsided by just going to their mailbox. As you feel safe around your home, don't drop your guard. Okay, so I really think that we had a lot of good tips come in tonight. Not only did you guys provide some good tips, but I love the discussion that you guys provided tonight. So give me a couple minutes here. I'm going to go over some of the things just for the people who may have joined late. And if you have not hit that thumbs up, make sure that you hit the thumbs up for this video. And what we started out with was situational awareness and security around our home. And we're talking about making sure that we're locking doors, we have good lighting, and also remember to lock windows as well. If your windows are not locked, then that is easy access for people to be able to come in and harm you and or your family, all right? So something else that we talked about was cameras, doorbells, and being able to positively identify someone before you open your door. There's no reason for you to open your door and be startled because you don't know who it is. Because if you did not pre-announce yourself, then that means that you don't want to come into my home, or then that means that I'm not going to open the door. So make sure that you're able to identify the people, you have good exterior lighting, you're cutting your bushes, you're not having areas that are very dark and people can do mischievous things. And also, when you're traveling outside your home, you want to make sure that you are not going the same route every single time. You want to know all of the safe havens, all of the places that you can go for safety, such as your sheriff's department, your local police department, your hospitals that are in your area. You want to know all of those areas that are along the routes that you frequent. So if you need to go to those areas, that you're able to go to those areas. And you also want to be able to go to, you also want to make sure that you don't have choke points. You don't want to be too close to the vehicles that are in front of you. And you want to be aware of the vehicles that are around you. If there is a vehicle that is following you, you need to make sure that you're using your mirrors at all times. And if you live in Florida, make sure that you're using your mirrors and your turn signal before you get over, all right? rant over about that as well. And you want to have that space between the vehicle because you want to be able to leave that area as quick as possible, but you also want to have the space between you and the vehicle in front of you, because if they were to slam on their brakes very quickly, you want to have enough time for you to react. And there is a lot of distracted driving nowadays, and distracted driving is they're not paying attention, they're on their phones, they're eating, they're applying makeup, they're doing whatever, right? I saw someone reading an entire paper one day in traffic. It is real. I'm not joking, okay? It's real. He was reading a paper in traffic, and he was the driver. All right, guys. The other thing is make sure that you have a medical kit in your vehicle. Having a medical kit in your vehicle, also your range bag, having a medical kit very close to you wherever you are. You want to have that so that you're able to be able to provide that medical assistance that you need whenever you need it. But it's going to be like your quick things, and you want to have a tourniquet in there as well. And you also want to know how to use that tourniquet that you have. So if you don't have a tourniquet, we're going to do some posts about that. And what do you guys think about a video on a bug out bag? What do you guys think about that? Comment and let me know. All right, more for wrapping it up. When you're parking, make sure that you're parking in a well-lit area. Also, make sure that you are locking your doors. You want to lock your doors on your home. You want to lock your doors on your vehicle, but make sure that you're not making yourself an easy target. Do not leave your firearms in your vehicle unsecured. If they are in your vehicle, you want to make sure that they are properly stored, all right? And you can check out Vaultec Safe. They will be linked below because we're an affiliate for Vaultec, and they have some amazing safes for you to use. And the prices vary, and they are TSA approved. And also make note of any cover and concealment wherever you may be. It could be grocery store, it could be home, it could be anywhere that you are, but you want to know all the cover and concealment areas that you can use and just identify them. And when you're at restaurants, we are going to try to sit with our back not facing the entry. We want to be able to see exactly who's coming and going and be able to be aware of our surroundings. So if someone doesn't look right, then we're going to be able to identify that, versus if someone comes in and they got on a ski mask, but if our back is facing the door, we're not even going to see that, right? So we want our front facing the door so that we can identify these things. And just try to not be distracted, not be on your phone. You know, if you're on your phone, then you're not going to be able to react. And when you're out in public, just like at a restaurant, don't walk and talk on your phone. Don't walk and look at your phone. You want to be aware. You want to be very alert. And if you're multitasking, then that means you're doing two things half. All right. Yeah, I didn't say the word. But, and also when you're in a building, you want to look for any other exits, any escape routes, whatever you want to call them. You want to be able to look for those so that you can identify it and you can go, okay, yeah, no, that's definitely not where, okay, my vehicle's over there. That door is blocked. Why is that exit blocked? Because exits shouldn't be blocked, right? Also, you can know that there are probably an exit in the kitchen if you're in a restaurant, right? Because they normally go out the back, dump that garbage, whatever they're doing back there, but they normally have an exit in the kitchen, all right? And if you guys have any other comments on this, let me know. This was just a quick situational awareness. I want you to share this with people that you may know. You want to share this with your children. You want to share this with your coworkers, and you don't have to necessarily share the video, but you can also share the tips that you have learned tonight. These tips can be used. I share these things with my kids, and I'm probably going to do a video on situational awareness with your kids or talking to your kids. And if you guys think that is a good idea, let me know, because I have children, and I know there's times where your children may be at home alone. They may be walking to the bus stop, or they may be walking home from the bus stop. So if they're not walking with a group, they probably should be walking with a group if they can. And these are just things that we want to talk to our kids about, but we just want to talk to everybody about, because you just don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know and we know, then we want to let them know so that we can make sure that they are prepared. Also, Richard said, like I tell everyone, know your laws when you're carrying, know your laws in your state. They change them laws every day. When you sleep, they got laws called them laws, or those laws. Rob says the USCCA has a great map for travel for free online. What I kind of caution against with things that are online, I like to go directly to the source, but I'm not going to get too much into that tonight because I don't want to hold you guys up for too much longer. And Richard said, like I said, learn them laws in your state. If you don't learn them laws in your state, you pull that weapon out and use it, you could be in a world of hurt. It's almost like criminals have rights. Fuzz said, by the way, Fuzzy, not all there upstairs. Marv said, I live in New York and upstate part, and I tell you, people who love guns leave because the laws here, no CCW unless officer and military. Aaron said yes on the bug out bag. I think D said yes on the bug out bag. Two Gun Kitty said more of a get home bag. And D said she likes the get home bag. And Richard said that's why it's called castle loft. Someone's coming to your home, invade your privacy. You have the right to protect yourself. Omega said, love you, Skip. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you for joining. Two Guns said, great chat. Rob said, I only know 4 people near me in New York with a CCW. Most of the police aren't even gun people and just have a work permit. Omega said, great info. Thank you. Fuzz said, hey, Skip, there are no exits in the bathrooms. Why? I can't answer that. I'm not an architect. Patriot said, nice chat. Hey, Patriot, thank you for joining. And I'm probably going to reach out to you. Marv said, Rob, Anita County is the worst. And RG said, yes, for the bug out bag. And something else that I kind of want to cover really quick, not going to really get into it, but I know some states have really lengthy processes when it comes to getting your CCW or whatever it may be. If it's a expensive process, long process, please be willing to go through it. Sometimes you got to jump through 50 million hoops just to get it, but you want to be able to defend yourself and be able to be legally armed, all right? Here in Florida, not to say there's not a lot of requirements, there's requirements. It's not very expensive. So we do have a lot of people with their CCW, but I just want to encourage you, if you don't have it, if you have hangups as to why you don't have it. Normally, if you're watching this with me, you don't really have hangups on why you don't have it. But if you are watching this and you don't have it, you have questions, you have concerns, feel free to reach out to me. That is what I'm here for. So thank you guys for joining tonight. If you are still here, congratulations, because I'm about to announce a giveaway that I'm doing right here, right now, tonight, because I have some good news. Do you guys want to know what the good news is? Type good news below and I will tell you guys what the good news is. But give me 1 minute because I'm about to grab this thing that I'm about to give you guys. But really quick, while I'm doing that, I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And if you have not checked out my Patreon, make sure that you check out my Patreon. My Patreon is a way for you to support me and all things that I do, Skip's Tactical Solutions. That can be my podcast, that can be helping me get equipment, supplies, whatever it may be. I don't know if you guys know this, but you probably do. Ammo's expensive, and doing videos can get very expensive as well. So Patreon is just a way for you to support me. And there are Patreon only perks that are there with my Patreon. So I really appreciate you guys. You can support me for as little as $1 a month. All right. But the more that you put in, obviously, the more that you get out of it. And my patrons are there, and they have direct access to me as well. So those of you who type good news, thank you. All right, so they want to know the good news. So we have, let's see, 20 people on this live right now. I think it's about 20 right now. So the good news is we just hit 20K on Instagram. 20K meant that we were going to have a big giveaway, and we also hit 4K on Facebook. So those were our next big numbers that we were trying to get to. I appreciate every single one of you who have supported, whether it be a comment, a like, if you're a friend of me, if you're in whatever, I appreciate you all. And now I'm going to give away one of my shirts tonight for someone who is on this live. So what I will do is I will show you guys, these shirts have not been released yet, but I'm going to give one to one of you guys tonight for joining me tonight for episode 2 of Talk to Me Thursday with Avery. G-Webs, thanks. All right, so this is the shirt. This is my new shirt that will be coming out soon. So this is the front. This is the front. And this is the back. All right. So what I want you guys to do is, if you want to be entered to win this shirt, I want you to type in 20K in the comment. And this is only going to be for if you're on the live. Type in 20K and I will let you guys know who wins. But do you guys like the new shirts? And the new shirts will be released soon. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. If you have not thumbs up this video, make sure you thumbs up. I really appreciate all you guys for tuning in tonight. And we will be doing this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hey, babe, can you come here, please? But let's see. G-Webs, thank you so much for posting those links. Two Gun, thank you. And G-Webs, thank you so much for donating to my Patreon. I'm going to give you guys another minute to enter. No, it's not just women's shirts. It's women's and men's. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to enter. It's not pink. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. It's not pink. It's probably the lighting. It is red. This is red. This is a gray shirt, and it is red. But this is our new shirt. I have them in men's sizes, and I also have them in women's sizes as well. Buzz, how do you know you don't look good in pink? Have you put pink on before? But yes, I definitely could not have reached 20K. I could not have reached anything without you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. If you have not entered my YouTube giveaway, make sure that you enter my YouTube giveaway. I'm giving away a Olight i3T EOS flashlight, and you can use this for your EDC. And then I'm also giving away a Glock Gen 5 hat. And I'm also giving away a Glock range bag. So these items are going to be in the Father's Day giveaway. So if you have not entered the Father's Day giveaway, you still have time. I will be announcing the winner next week. All right, guys. And if you have some ideas as far as topics for lives, make sure that you let me know. Let's see. Yes, so G-Webs, my lives are going to be every Thursday, YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I try to only have them for an hour. All right, so the winner of the shirt, and I did random, it is Juan. So Juan said that he is a large. So Juan, what I need you to do is reach out to me on Facebook, and that's going to be facebook.com/Skips Tactical Solutions, or you can just type in Skips Tactical Solutions and it should come up. Send me your address, and I think you said a large, so make sure you just put the size in there as well, and I will get your shirt out to you. Thank you so much for every single person who has entered. What I will tell you is I love giving stuff away, and now that we hit 20K, and we have 4K on Facebook, we are about to do a huge giveaway. So the giveaway will probably be like mid-July sometimes. So yeah, you won. So the 20K and the huge milestone giveaway will be sometime in July. So make sure that you're staying tuned, because every single month I'm doing a giveaway. And just a hint here, some of these giveaways are going to be really good. And I just want to let you know that there's going to be some guns that are going to be given away too. So stay tuned. I appreciate the support. Big said my hat, thanks. Yeah, I give away. There's probably been at least 30 people that have won things so far. So yeah, Juan, thank you so much for entering to win the shirt. And G-Web said maybe boring, but I would be curious to hear what it's like to be active duty in 2019. I only really hear from Border Patrol because of where I am. So life and motivations of the active duty today. So guys, let me know what you want to hear. I can definitely talk about whatever you guys want to hear. And for those of you who didn't know, I don't know if I told you guys last week, but yeah, I'm re-enlisted. I raised my right hand and I gave another 4 years to the Air Force. Those last 4 years, which I'm planning on those being my last 4 years, will take me out to 20 years. So, I only was showing 3, sorry, 4. All right, so I raised my right hand, gave the Air Force another 4 years. So yeah, I'm going to be double dipping. I will be all things Skips Tactical Solutions, and then I will be serving my country at the same time. So yes, I re-enlisted for another 4, which will take me out to 20. So I'm trying to run a business, be a mom, be a wife, and a service member at the same time. So sometimes you guys just have to be very, very patient with me. But yes, make sure that you put your notifications on, and make sure that you are putting it on your calendar to join us every single Thursday here, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube for Talk to Me Thursday with Skip. I want you guys to know that I want to talk about what you guys want us to talk about. And if you want me to have some guests on, let me know and I'll try to reach out and I'll have some guests on as well. So make sure that you enter the YouTube giveaway, which is the Father's Day giveaway. And I will see you guys